Hello and welcome to Flip Flop Tabletop, the podcast where two friends play Dungeons and Dragons in a comedy manner, and they take turns playing the same character and making up the world as they go along. My name is Fred.
My name's Sam. Sorry, there's a slight pause while I was giving Freddie a mental D.
I thought I did great.
No,
It was off script, but you know, we are completely off script here in the Flip Flop Tabletop podcast.
just to
a comedy
clarify,
podcast.
the mental D I was giving you was also, that was a grade rather than that
The
aggressive
D.
glass I wasn't aggressively
Giving me the D.
fucking you in my mind.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Okay, glad we got that sorted up top. So, hell of an episode last time.
So much went on. So many changes. So much for me to think about now as DM.
Changes!
Who sings that song, Sam?
David Bowie.
Wow. Man, you're doing really good. I really want to... I thought I'd be able to catch you off on microphone.
I think
No,
you'll
not
actually
so bad.
find the reputation for not knowing music is actually a carefully created cloak of lies so that people are mildly surprised when I know even the most basic things.
Yeah. I mean, that was Changes by David Bowie. I shouldn't be giving you any credit, but I did for some reason.
Freddie, I got a little secret for you. Have you ever heard of proactive low expectations? Gonna change your life.
Yeah, man, I need to set that up for myself. So what did happen? We went into the Temple of Shadows. It was all mirrory, and we spoke to the guy on the door, and we spoke to the Black Heart, and he turned out to be this old guy, and then a centaur came
There's
along.
Roy, and then there was a guy with a name which I thought was quite funny, but I'm not entirely sure if you vibed with it.
No, I like it. I love that ordinary names in a fantasy context.
Good, thank you.
And what, he put a tattoo on Rowe's shoulder?
He did.
Like a mirror, kind of, ironically, I guess, to the unicorn.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Is it ironic or is it just deeply appropriate? And there's the actual irony in this god of contrast and illusions actually did something pretty predictable.
I don't think I've ever flagged something up as ironic
Correctly.
That's the irony there. Is it? Is it ironic?
I
No,
don't know.
probably not. Probably not. Well, okay. Well, we got a lot to do this episode. Oh, also, a little bit of housekeeping. We ought to apologize for the audio quality on episode 5. There was something up with the microphones. We didn't realize until afterwards. This time, we ought to have it just right for you in your little ears.
Our producer, Bertie, really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, she's fired. I'm doing this on my own now, so don't worry about it. All right, let's begin. Where am I? You, Sam. And it's funny you should ask, because you don't quite remember how you got here, but you're actually just
Oh
now...
my god, how did I get here?
No, I mean, you've just been through quite an ordeal. You're arriving now at the door of the Villainous Swan. You've just autopiloted there, and the door creaks open.
I must get that creek.
You must. And Emma comes up and says, Rowe, are you okay? You look a bit... And like, you're getting that feeling where like time's kind of slowing down, like her voice is going like, Rowe, are you okay? And I'd like you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I shall.
With disadvantage, remember. You still have disadvantage.
It was funny when I was doing it to you. It feels mean from the side of the table. So, a naked dice is a 3.
Okay.
But let's not forget about my modifier, which whacks it on up to a big old 5.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid that's not going to do it.
It'd be a lot if we were doing rolling 6-sided dice. So
Yeah, no, that would be really high.
or if it was like 5 out of 5, 5 stars,
Yeah, if
That
it were,
would actually be
were a
quite
Just
good.
Eat review,
If that was,
it would be great. I would order you.
yeah.
I'd order that.
Rowe's
roll.
constitution was rustic, but at the same time, charming and homely.
Not enough to keep him conscious in this situation, I'm afraid. And
My player character fell over unconscious as soon as he entered the establishment. 5 stars, but actually in this world, that's bad because it's
Out
like
of
5 out
20.
of 20, 20 plus. So
Yeah.
all right, do you want to carry on with the bit where you lead? And I
All
won't
right.
just
Okay.
talk.
Do you mind if I? Because remember, Sam, I'm going to DM this one.
All right, that's
We'll
right.
change over each week.
Yeah.
So your eyelids heavy. Think of a heavy thing that's your eyelids, like a truck, heavy thing.
I don't think that's within Rowe's frame of reference.
Cart. This is the second time I've done this and gone a truck. And
Stop
you'd be like, what does that
using
mean?
a truck as your go-to analogy.
Okay, a cart
A
with
rock,
oxen.
just a big rock.
No, I mean a rock's as long as a piece of string. No, your eyelids are heavy as a thing, a fantasy thing, and they close down over you. Your vision goes black. Your memory a complete blur. You do have a brief memory of just a thud hitting the ground, and you fall into a sleep. And for someone who's so tired and their brain is just exhausted, you have a very vivid dream. And you dream pretty well through the whole series of events since your last sleep. And for the listeners at home, that is the entire running of the podcast so far. Rowe hasn't been to sleep since the very beginning. He woke up.
Has he?
No, he hasn't. He woke up in an alleyway after, maybe fighting a bear.
Editorially, is that how we're going to run all of these? We'll just carry on going continuously until he collapses, and then we go, oh, you meant to sleep.
I think we'll have to find a way to sleep in a way that's podcast efficient.
Okay.
But
So maybe we have one episode of action and then a nice hour long of you describing him sleeping, and I'm like,
I can describe
I rolled
the
to stay
previous thing.
asleep again. I'm still asleep.
Okay, cool. So you remember everything comes flooding back to you kind of quite clearly and in order, and you actually remember the wolves that you fought even before the first episode of the podcast. This is kind of all going back to since you met Twinkle and you got your powers as a warlock, and you remember the wolves, and you actually have a brief memory of the bear even. There was a bear. You remember it. And there was some kind of fight there. You remember the swan out in the field, and you remember Quenlin, and you remember meeting Watercracker and fighting Twig Blights and meeting the unicorn again and getting Bestie and fighting Bone Jelly and going to the temple and going through the maze and meeting the Black Heart and meeting Unflattering Lampoon where you got your second tattoo. You remember it all really clearly.
Just a list of animals.
Yeah, animals you've fought.
Like, no, animals I've either fought or loved.
Yeah, you've got a really complex relationship with animals.
You know what Rowe says? Animals, I either fight them or love them forever. No
That's
in
right.
between for me.
That's his position on animals. And as you're remembering Unflattering Lampoon, the centaur who gave you your tattoo, the moment in this dream when he gives you that tattoo, the scene changes. Because scene changes happen in dreams, right? That's how they work.
That's how I
There's
dream.
an editorial cut in the dream. And suddenly you're looking at the portal again. But it's kind of quite different. It's dark all around, and the portal itself is overgrown with like these vines, and it's kind of, I don't know, got webbing, and it's all dark. You can tell it's just like your dark vision lighting it up, and you're actually looking at it from kind of third person, I guess.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
When I'm looking at it, is it my physical eyes or is it my spiritual eyes?
It's your spiritual eyes in this case. Up until now, it wasn't. But the moment Unflattering Lampoon touched you, you got the tattoo and you changed scene. It's now you're kind of looking at it from further back. Like you're the director of the scene, I would say. Because you see
Can
actually
I
a
see
figure.
myself?
Yeah, or you see what you assume is yourself, I guess. You can only see him from behind, but he's looking at the portal, and he's got he's wearing pretty much the same clothes as you, or very similar. He's got one of his arms is bare, just like yours. He has a pauldron, and sitting on top of the pauldron, you see an imp, a small black imp. And the moment the figure takes a step towards the portal, you wake up.
I look around.
You're in the Villainous Swan. You recognize it. You've been put on a bed.
Okay. Rowe stands up on autopilot.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to leave my room.
Cool. You get down to the main room and Emma says, Rowe, are you okay? You've been asleep for 2 nights.
I just kind of walk past her. So
Rowe?
Rowe's mind is just like turning. It's just like rolling over and over. And he can hear her, and he doesn't want to be... He's not like consciously being rude, but it's kind of like he's got her request cued, and he just kind of needs to get through what he's doing. And he just kind of decides he's just doing something. He goes over to the wood store that he remembers where he kind of broke in, like when he came in with Bone Jelly.
Yeah.
Because he remembers there's some like tools and stuff in there. He saw them when he fell in. And there's a little can of grease.
Yeah.
I think he reaches out and he grabs that. And again, he's still just... He's on autopilot. And there's just like... Thoughts are turning and turning. And he grabs the grease and he walks up to the front door. And... he just starts oiling the hinges.
Finally.
Yeah. There's no like sense of victory, but it's just like I think at this point everything seems really big. Like what's happened to Rowe in the last 2 days is bigger than he is, or his experience, or his training.
Yeah.
And so it's like he's just kind of been like, there's one thing that I know I can do.
Yeah, right.
And like, you know how he's like...
It's grounding.
It's quite grounding, and it's like he's really like a little bit... He's kind of a bit almost pathetically like achievement focused.
Yeah, right. I get that.
You know what I mean? He wants to do good. You know, he's like that kid in class who just wants to... Oh, I wanted to get 10 out of 10. And so this is what's in front of him. But his mind is in turmoil while he does it.
Yeah.
And finally, after he's oiled every single hinge, he's standing there looking at the door, and he kind of swings it.
Doesn't make a sound.
Does it?
No.
Am I successful?
You're successful.
Okay.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it.
Brilliant. There's just a sudden clatter, and he drops the can of grease. And he turns to Emma and says, I think I've got an evil twin.
What do you mean, Rowe?
I don't... Emma, I don't know. I went to the Temple of Shadows, and I met someone there who...
Oh, you're going to go on one of the tours?
Emma,
I was thinking of going on one myself.
They're baddies. Don't go near them.
Oh, it's it's a bit of fun.
Emma, I think they might be stealing people's souls or like bodies. I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
Wow, they done a number on you, Rowe. You've really fallen for their marketing, eh?
Emma, do you think this is guerrilla marketing?
Yeah, I think so. Really effective.
He rips off... So, because... we've established...
actually, let me explain this, because I had a thought about this. The sleeve is... Because I just saw Sam pull up his sleeves, by the way, listeners. You won't know why I've gotten this. But, yeah, the sleeve is...
But can you just say a nice thing about how committed I was to the bit?
Yeah,
I was
you were completely
like,
in the zone, and I saw your eyes gloss over, because you were Rowe there for that moment.
My eyes have rolled up my head, and I'm just kind of twitching. I'd be like, oh...
Yeah, so we didn't really address it last time, but when you got given the tattoo by Unflattering Lampoon, you had a sleeve there. Like, that was covered, but you felt it arrive. Like, you know what it felt like when you got it from Twinkle, and it was exactly the same, and you knew even the shape of it. Like, there's a connection with these marks that is just, like, in your core. You really, like, you know exactly how it looks without even seeing it. But your sleeve is... As a result, I guess, just from the energy or heat or something, it's just like ripped completely down the seam of the sleeve, and it's probably just gonna fall off. If you like, you can fix it if you want to keep it and like keep that tattoo covered, but unless you really do something about it, it's basically going to come off. So you're going to have 2 sleeves gone, or you can get it fixed. It's kind of up to you what you want to do. It depends whether or not you want to use it, I guess.
So
you need to
as
touch
you
it.
say this, I've got that kind of like that feeling in my stomach that, you know, when you're playing like Fallout or one of those games, like the language decision, the relationship games, and I'm like, I'm going to pull off my sleeve. Does this mean that I have the bad ending at the end? Like, turns out that you killed the entire empire.
Yeah, your good bad slider is going to be affected by this
No,
action.
I think Rowe's not one to hide, or like, you know, and I think he just rips the sleeve straight off and just goes, I guess like to be chosen by one god is like I guess is a blessing, but to be chosen by 2?
Is that new?
That's a curse. I got Emma, there was like some sort of shadow centaur.
Oh, it looks cool.
I mean, it does
I
look
like it.
cool.
It looks badass.
Now, Rowe has mixed feelings about this whole thing, but he does think it looks cool.
It's probably a bit more his speed than a unicorn, isn't it, really?
No, he likes the balance, but yeah. He's like thinking about getting like flames around it or something.
Hey, I should mention, by the way, your unicorn one has a chain above it, like to represent the pact you made with your unicorn. This one doesn't have that. It doesn't look like there's, like, in D&D terms, I don't think you've made a pact with this god.
No.
Or god type thing. No, it was a god. It was a god of trickery, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of been a bit free and loose with the term god. I'm not sure quite how that fits in, but these are
Bloody powerful and
ascendant
magical
beings who are beyond. To Rowe, they might as well be god. They might, who knows from whence they draw their power. But I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, no, I got you. Cool. So he shows Emma. She's impressed. Does it do anything? I know you said, when you were drunk the other night, you were telling us all about the unicorn one and how it did, all sorts for you. Does that one do anything?
I can't really control either of them. I could touch it. He starts just pushing on it.
Yeah, you feel, as soon as you touch it, you feel like a warmth in your hand, in your left hand.
The one touching it.
No, it's because it's on your left arm.
I thought so, yeah. I was getting
and you're
confused.
touching it with your right hand. Ordinarily, you touch the unicorn on your right shoulder with your left hand, and you can basically shoot spells out of your hand or sword or whatever you've got, or shovel.
The triple XL Big Digger.
That's right.
2.0.
Thank you for reminding me of how crap that name is. It's canonical.
It's canon now, buddy.
Yes, you kind of feel that same warmth, but it's like it's a heat rather than it's a different type of energy. You can tell.
Like kind of more burning.
Yeah.
Ooh. Can I roll Arcana? Can I see if I can have a play?
That's a good idea. So what
I'm not disadvantaged anymore, right?
No, you're fine. You've had a good rest. But before you roll, I'm just going to describe what you're doing. You're kind of touching it and just like channeling its power a bit to see what's there. So you're kind of experimenting with it by using it in a way. I'm just going to phrase it like that. But even touching it, I guess, is kind of, and feeling the warmth is in a way using it.
I can see what you're saying is kind of like that way be consequences.
No, not really.
But like at the same time, I think there's no way that Rowe's not gonna probe. Like even if
I agree.
Maybe this way he gets his hand slapped, but there's no way that he doesn't push at this to figure out what it is. Okay, I'm rolling. It's a disappointing 3.
You can tell you've got like some skills from it, some stuff you could use, and you're not like, you haven't worked that out by just then. You just know that that's what happened when you met with Twinkle and got that tattoo. Okay, so on that point, actually, now that we're talking about tattoos and so on, this is the first time you've noticed your arm. And
which arm?
Your right arm.
I've never noticed my arm before.
It's the first time you've noticed that.
Holy shit, what's that doing there?
Grab stuff?
Fuck, I've been really uncoordinated with my left for all this time for no reason.
No, there's tattoos there. There's brand new tattoos all up your arm. All of the things.
Would you look at that?
All of the things from Sam's grabbing his arm and looking at it, rolling up his sleeve even to see it, flexing his biceps, giving them a little kiss. Pretty much in sequence, in the familiar style. Like, you can tell they're done by you. Like, these are your tattoos. You presumably did them in some kind of trance over the last couple of days. But all the things I described.
It's my style.
Yeah, you've got your own unique style. It's like your left hand tattooing your right arm, kind of like, simple shapes, but you can see all the things I mentioned at the beginning represented kind of in order.
A bear, a twig blight, a goose, a
More.
goat.
There's more things. There's the temple and the maze and...
Oh, so it's like... So, in my head, I was kind of picturing just like kind of figures of his defeated foes, but it's more like, can I ask, does it? And I think this would be cool, so I'm leaning heavily towards you saying yes. Does it like wrap around his arm?
Yes, it does.
So I've always kind of pictured Rowe as, and ladies and gentlemen, I think that this has sort of come up in this bit, that Rowe's maybe a little younger, and like, he's not just inexperienced, but he's actually quite immature. Like, he's kind of brave and brash and young, but he's kind of, I think he's like maybe like 23, 24, that sort of age.
Yeah, that's kind of what I imagine too, actually.
Like he's got skills, he's been out in the world. Apologies to anyone out there who's like 24, but he hasn't quite like hit up against any of life's big failures yet, if that makes sense. Like,
and he's also got this kind of like fresh burst of confidence just happened now, and it's kind of maybe been used a little irrationally, and it's clumsily, I would say. And he's still, as discussed, he spent most of his life just in notice board, like in his hometown. And this is his first kind of, he's maybe travelled to kind of a few places around, but he's mostly just lived in notice board. And I think that his career, let's kind of do some psychoanalysis here. Like, so he's kind of, his parents have the inn, and that's always been this kind of really stable base for him. And I think he gets on really well with his parents. He has a really warm relationship, but he's always had this need to kind of prove himself. Yeah.
And he set up the notice board business, Rowe's Notice Board Adventures. And that's kind of given him this kind of sense of like accomplishment. He's doing things. He's like, he feels really independent. But kind of at the end of the day, he's still kind of been living with his parents and just like going and finding lost sheep, like in the immediate 2 miles around notice board. So Rowe is... he's an inexperienced young man.
So the reason I ask about the age actually is that kind of determines, in my mind at least, how far up his arm the tattoos go. I kind of imagine them starting, from his wrist working up. So he's got, the tattoos you've just done over the last few days, in fact, and even the couple of days sort of before the podcast, actually I'm probably close to half of what is even there. Like, he has stuff on his arm, like, and feel free to chip in if you have some you think should be there, but like the inn and his parents, and then like,
I think that once a magic squirrel came to him and asked him to find the blessed acorn with which it could reseed the forest. And I mean, that sounds like a really important quest, but it just meant like he just had to search the forest for like an acorn.
What's the tattoo of? Is it a squirrel or an acorn?
It's just an acorn.
An acorn. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks really nice.
So like just general like small task kind of things. He has a tattoo of like a pen he built, a pig pen that he was really proud of.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like a fountain pen. It's just like, you like pen. That? Pretty nice. You fuckers have been using quills, idiots.
No, just simple. I think Rowe celebrates the small stuff in a permanent,
to be fair,
marked on his skin way.
I mean, we're mocking him for inventing the pen, but
that's huge.
Nobo invented the scuba equipment, so
he didn't have any tattoos. God, his bar is so high.
He did have, sorry to like divert back to Nobo, but he had those like wonderful plaits, and we just never talked about them again.
Oh, yeah.
That's the funny thing about
you should have used them more, Sam.
Like, wrapped them around the thing under the water, the blockage, and just like pulled up, and then you just made me drown because I wrapped my head
around. I'm a real bastard.
I will say one other thing, because just the way I imagine them is not only... I don't think they're just in like a random swirls. I actually the more educated among our listeners will be familiar with Trajan's column. Freddie? Not.
No, I don't know what that
Idiot!
is. Please tell me and the other listeners who don't know what that is.
It's a nice Roman monument in which an entire adventure of an entire military campaign is depicted around a column, and it just winds its way up, kind of moving from scene to scene, kind of flawlessly. But it travels around the entire circumference, if you see what I mean. Winds
like
up.
a spiral.
So it's not just they're random scatters, but it's moving up his arm as if it's the course of something. His curriculum vitae.
Okay, cool. So you're there. You've shown Emma. You've looked at your new tattoos, which are there. You recognize them as yours. What do you want to do, Sam? What's on the agenda? How can I assist you as DM here?
So I actually think, so at this point, I'd like to, partly through a failure of my own imagination, I'm actually going to leave this up to chance. I think Rowe orders a drink. Emma, I think I need a firewater.
She pours you a firewater and herself one and offers you up a cheers.
You see this, Emma? You see this coin?
Yes?
One side, there's a picture of a castle. It's thick walls. It's order. It's safety. It's stability. And on the other side, there's a fire. And it's just burning and huge. And it's kind of chaos and just come what may. I mean, I don't know who made this coin. I found it. I liked it. I picked it up. Found it in the forest.
It's quite a coin. Looks kind of evil.
No, I mean, it's
a dichotomy.
in many ways, it represents the warring sides of my own personality at this point. Emma, I can't decide. It's been a weird couple of days. I could either go to the castle, go back to notice board, talk to my parents, figure out what to do, have a chat to them, just put the whole thing in context. Maybe go and find Bestie. Find a wizard to fix Bestie. Or, and I am tempted by this even as I say it, the fire. Now, the fire would be to go and find Franny and his horse and Watercracker, and we're just going to ride straight through that portal and just see what happens.
Oh, he'd be up for it.
Well, I'm gonna flip the coin, Emma.
I'll give you an actual coin.
Oh, I was gonna roll a dice, but that works as
No,
well.
it seems more
I'm really
important.
bad
You
at-
need to decide which side is flames.
Okay, so the head, I think, is the castle is stability, is home.
Yeah.
In this case, the corner of the shield of the British coat of arms is fire, because I'll burn the monarchy down.
Fair enough.
This is
Absolutely.
now a Republican podcast. I said podcast.
Pobcast. Repubcast.
We're pobbing.
Right, flick that sucker. Well, it's fire.
Yes! Rowe says, let it all burn, Emma. Let it all burn.
Awkward timing, but you actually owe a little bit of money for the
Oh,
room.
I'm so sorry.
Two
Can
nights.
I mean, I didn't. It's not like I saved your life or anything, but
You know what? Actually, I've been meaning to say thank you for that, Rowe. So,
No.
tell you what, it's on me, all right?
No.
The rooms are free anyway. It's fine.
Emma,
As in empty.
I wouldn't hear of it.
Well, I've already told you. I'm pretty stubborn here. Have you ever heard the phrase stubborn as a dwarf?
I have.
I'm really stubborn. I'm not.
I'm
gonna
quite
accept your money.
stubborn.
I'm stubborner.
I'm gonna quite try and persuade you.
You're gonna have to roll a dice if you want
I
to do
am
that.
gonna roll a dice. Emma, I'm going to leave you quite a lot of money, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I don't want that.
13.
13. She's pretty stubborn. No. Sorry, Rowe. Look, that goat was covered in knives. I've never been in a more stressful situation, and you saved me, okay?
Well, you know what?
2 nights aboard is nothing compared to that. Come on. Get out of here, you scamp. Go find that gnome, Franny.
Emma, give me a hug, love.
All right. And comes around and gives you a little hug. It comes up to about your waist.
Okay, I'd like to roll stealth.
Okay.
16. I would like to... What's a reasonable price for this whole, 2 nights board?
I was going to say 10 silver.
All right. He drops 10 silver into her penny. Just kind of like sleight of hands it in there.
Yeah, I like that you chose penny as well. I feel like that's like super easy to just...
Yeah, like there's like a big bulgy pocket.
Yeah. She's got like an order sheet in there and stuff. No, it's fine.
He leans away from the market and he says, "You won this one, Emma."
Yeah, I told you I was stubborn. I won't fall for no, you're charming. You're charming, Rowe, but you're not that charming. Get out of here. You got a lot to learn, kiddo.
Bye, Emma.
See you later.
Cool.
So you walk out the door and it shuts silently. You've done a good job.
A job well done. Do I get experience points or something?
You do. Behind the scenes, experience points go trickling in.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Ching. Yeah.
All right, what am I looking at? What's happening in the market square?
So in the market square, you see the first thing you see, and it's kind of like surprisingly rowdy for this time of the day. It's actually later than you'd think. I know you've just woken up, but it's probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Barry's beer barrel is bustling. There's probably about 10 people all sitting around on little half barrels, like cut in half, used as seats. There's a big beer barrel there. There's Barry, a big ginger dwarf, and he's serving up pints. But unmistakably from his silhouette, you see holding one of the beer barrels, like miniature beer barrels full of beer, sitting atop a gigantic horse is Franny, drinking and talking merry with the table below him.
On his... What's he sitting on? Because in my mind, we've discussed that there's like a platform up there. Does he have like a nice seat up there or something?
Yeah.
I imagine him just like lounging in a leather chair, kind of like...
He's got like a little table he can eat at. He's got everything. It's like completely well set up. And I know you're thinking, oh, I just said I wanted to go see Franny. This seems too easy. I already had this in my head. This was where Franny was.
Well, you have been trailing Big Bob's barrel.
We wanted to get him some business.
Okay, so Rowe, without hesitation, walks across the square and just says, "Franny!
Rowe! How are you?
I am in the best of health. Franny, I've had a wild time. It's been bad.
Whoa, hold up there, buddy. Can I get you a drink?
You know it, buddy.
Barry, gonna need another ale over here, my boy.
Rowe goes up and kind of leans, so he's got one elbow up on the platform and he can kind of hang with Franny. He says, "Franny, I love what you're doing. Is this the infamous Daisy Clopper?"
This is her. She's a lovely beauty. He leans down forward and gives her a big pat on the kind of shoulder. Isn't she magnificent?
She is magnificent. How did you get her out?
25 hands,
How did you get her out of the Burgomaster's house?
Well, that's my secret. I'll never tell.
Can you tell?
Maybe after another drink or two. I mean...
I've got this one. Fanny, I've got one question for you.
Yes?
So I just flipped a dice, which means that I have to go charging off into the unknown. But I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just throwing it all to the winds. And I thought there's only one person I want beside me in that situation. Franny... What's your last name, Franny?
Franny Biglong. Is my name?
Franny Biglong?
Yep.
There's only one person I want beside me, and his name is Franny Biglong.
That's what they call me. That's why I got such a big long horse.
Franny Biglong.
You put me on the spot.
I know, it was very funny.
So Barry comes up to you with 2 more ales and says, "Here you go."
Barry, nice to meet you. I've heard good things about you and your ale.
It's the best ale we got here in what do we call this place? Kidney Stone.
What about Emma's ale? It's pretty good.
Makes hers taste like crap. This is amazing. Plus, we have reusable cups. You pay 5 copper for the cup. Comes full of ale. You keep the cup. 3 copper refills.
We've got one question.
Aye?
In this time and economy, what exactly is a non-reusable cup?
Well, I mean, you own the cup.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And because you bring it back, we refill it.
What kind of cup?
It's a little barrel here. That's what this is in. That's yours.
Has it got
5
any-
copper.
Has it got any magic properties? Does it fill itself when I'm out on the road?
No. But it's, could double as a small barrel.
What
Small
would it-
pint-sized barrel.
But with not the top, just...
Oh, you could fashion a lid for it yourself.
But you don't sell that.
No. Look, I sell ale.
And cups.
Ale?
I mean,
well,
you're
it's a
trying to
cup
say
ale
you
system.
don't sell cups, but you do just sell cups as well.
I tell you what, it's a wee trick for return business, and it's working a charm, as you can see.
I think I'll just have an ale, thank you, Barry.
You don't have a cup.
Okay, yeah, I'll have one of your cups. You
No,
twist my arm.
no, please clasp your hands. I'll pour it in.
What are you saying
Hope
that
you're a quick drinker.
Are you saying that I can't buy an ale without buying one of your cups?
Well, you can buy one for 5 copper. Gosh, my accent is
No!
a fucking mess.
It is. No. Yeah, okay. Okay. This seems a bit of a rip-off. Yeah, I am. Yeah, just pour it in my hands. I'll drink it.
Okay, that'll be 3 copper. Come over here to the barrel.
Okay, I hand over my 3 copper.
Everybody, look at the astonishing, what was your name, sir?
Rowe.
Astonishing Rowe in the beer-grabbing hands. And he pours the ale into your hands, and it's starting to pour out.
Okay.
Roll sleight of hand.
So am I trying to... No. So,
It's up to you. I would assume drink it quickly.
okay, yeah, I'm going to try and form a funnel. Basically, I'm going to clasp my hands together. Listeners, I'm showing Freddie what I'm doing. I'm going to clasp them into a little bowl and then kind of put my lips where my kind of palms meet.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It does actually seem above board.
Okay, so it's kind of... I'm actually not making so much a cup.
You're definitely
As
not
a
going to get a full
funnel.
pint, though.
No, and then I'll just keep them slightly upright and they'll just dribble into my mouth.
Okay. So sleight of hand, please.
Oh, baby, I feel like a natural 20.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's also not that song. No,
I feel like a woman.
No, it's... How does it go, though? It's like...
Man, I feel
man.
like a woman.
No, that's a different song. It's
What
like...
are you thinking then?
You make me feel like a natural 20.
Okay, yeah, cool. You managed to... Good song. Who's that one by? Even I don't know that one.
Tina Turner?
Probably. Almost like the odds are high.
Okay.
So he pours this in and he's looking really cocky, but he pours in... your hands are so huge, Ro. You're a big man.
Thank you.
He pours in probably more than a pint's worth. You don't spill a drop, and you manage to drink it all down. What do? You
I think I'm just going to stand up and say, thank you very much, Barry. A well played trade, sir.
yeah, 2 extra copper. You would have had a cup. That's fine. No, good for you. Good for you, mate. He looks sheepishly and goes back to his stool. in front
Barry,
of
just
the
one more thing. Is there anywhere I could wash my hands? They're covered in beer. They're quite sticky.
No, down the lake. Just wipe them on your trowel.
My trowel. So
I mean, if you don't use a cup, I'm not going to help you here. I mean, this is really your own doing. Franny says, come here. I gotta... He reaches through a little cupboard that he has in his stand on his horse and pulls out some napkins. Leans down and passes them to you.
Thank you, Rip Fanny. Very kind. What do you say? Come on. Let's do this. You and I. On the road. Through a portal. Probably dying. Who knows?
A portal to where?
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell? I've never been, you know. I do like to travel. I wonder do you think there'll be riches there? One thing about other worlds I've heard. You go through, there's resources there you can't get here. They sell for a lot of money.
If you want to quarter the market in Shadowfellium or some other thing.
Unobtainium.
Okay, yeah, that was stupid, but they put that in a real movie.
Yeah.
I just came up with Shadowfellium right here, and it was just as good.
So Franny's gonna say, well, you won't catch old Franny turning down an adventure, Rowe. So when do you want to do this?
Now, right now.
Well, I'll have to finish. Hold on. throws his reusable cup on the ground and goes,
Yeah, suck it, Barry. I told you it was a stupid plan.
yeah, fuck you, Barry. Let's go. And he rides off ahead of you a bit. You guess you have to run after him.
I can't believe I haven't asked this before, but where's Watercracker?
Watercracker's still at the farm. You can. I tell you what. We can. It's on the way to the portal. If you want, I'm happy to just say you go and get Watercracker.
Okay, but I will accept that in the interest of time. But you must say I go and get him and introduce the word lovingly in there.
Absolutely, it's so lovingly, and you cherish each other, and he gives you a look of what is the closest a donkey can do to joy. Which is like about a 3.
Is it like a slow motion scene, and I'm like running across the like straw, and he
looks at you with what's, removed from hate. It's not hate. It's like
the highest affection that a donkey can give, which is disinterest.
It's like actually towards the nicer side of ambivalence. It's like he's like,
I love.
That old scamp.
I can just carry on pouring blood into the Watercracker stone for the rest of my life.
He's great. Donkeys are just so lovable in real life. It's like, I'm happy to have a donkey I can imaginarily love.
They are cute. I think they get a high flack.
Yeah, I know. They get a lot of flack. Anyway, you have Watercracker. The farmer gives you a saddle for him, and the whole works. It's the whole kit and caboodle. He's doing great off Bone Jelly, and you see Bone Jelly there, and he's chomping down on some corn. He looks happy as Larry. And you head off towards...
Who's Larry? Does he work on the farm?
Just this really happy farmhand who's like always like playing...
I sure do like my work!
He's got a ball and cup which he plays while he's out in the field, and he's just a happy dude.
And him and Bone Jelly just been hanging?
Yeah. They've got a real kind of connection.
Cool.
It's funny. Bone Jelly's a really good guy deep down.
Oh, no.
And it's finally coming to life. So you carry on trusty old Watercracker.
He's not Bone Jelly anymore. He's Home Jelly.
Ah. Yeah, cool. So we head towards the forest. We go through the path. It's kind of daytime. It's not like as ominous as it was before, and you get through and then...
Hey, Franny, over there, I beat up a tree.
Oh.
2 trees.
Were they fighting you back? Because, I beat up trees just for practice.
Yeah, no, they were... I've got a tattoo, look.
Ooh, that's great. Do you do those yourself? With your left hand? Just a guess.
This is very much like the time when she was a little bit younger than Rowe, and I thought it would be a good idea to cut my hair, and a girl I worked with asked me if I cut my own hair. And for some reason, I kind of took it as a compliment. I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like... Yeah, like it really looks like it.
You mentioned a combination. That's what you're going for.
It looked weird.
Yeah,
like,
I bet it did.
Really weird. I didn't even try hard. I was just like in front of the mirror. I'd just be like, that bit's too long.
I cut my own hair for a bit when I had like a mullet kind of look because it didn't matter quite so much. But it's not easy. You can give it a trim, but you can't give it the cut that you're getting.
Yeah, weird times.
Those are tough times. You saved a lot of money though, I bet.
Not that.
Not a lot. As much as a barber costs. All right, so we head through to the forest there, and you see the portal sitting...
So just Rowe has had a little think, and actually that's my way of editorializing the fact that I finally properly read my character sheet and realized that I can cast Speak with Animals for free. No spell cost there. I'm going to touch that white unicorn bad boy, and I'm going to cast Speak with Animals, and I'm going to say, Watercracker? It's me. It's Rowe. How are you?
Oh, hey, Rowe. What's up? What's up, man?
I just want to say it's really good to see you again.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Yeah. It's good, man. Thanks.
I love you.
Whoa. I'm a little uncomfortable with that. I didn't think you'd come back, so yeah, man, good for you. Good for me, I guess.
I'll always come back for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Cool.
So we're going on an adventure now, you and I. I assume you love adventure as much as I do.
You know what I do love? It's a carrot. I don't have any carrots right now, though. It's a shame.
Do I have any left?
Yeah, you ate one and you had
one
6.
in the maze, yeah. Watercracker, I've got 5 carrots here for you.
What? 5?
I can give them all to you right now.
All of 5 carrots.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
No, really?
I've never seen... I mean, you might not have food later, though. These are like the only ones I've got.
No. I can take him. Give me now. I'll save him. I'll save him. Rowe, come on, dude. Hook me up with those carrots, my boy.
Watercracker. And I'm kind of leaning, because I'm still in the saddle while this is happening. I'm kind of like leaning over his head so I can look deep into his eyes. And I imagine Watercracker's kind of leaning his head back so he can look up to me.
Yeah, and like kind of chomping a little bit.
Here you go, buddy. And I hand over the carrot.
And he's just hoeing into them. He's not saving any of them. There's just carrot flying everywhere. He's got weird donkey mouth. He can't eat 5 carrots. There's bits falling around. He actually turns around backwards and starts going the other way, kind of to pick up like carrot bits he's dropped. He's like, you're kind of lurching forward a bit as he reaches down to pick off the ground. He's just like stoked. He's like got a bit of a kind of pep in his step right now. He's eating all the carrot, and then he goes, cool. All right.
Good talk.
Let's go. All the carrots are gone.
There'll be more. There'll be so many carrots in your future.
I don't know, man.
Just believe. Believe in carrots.
Yeah. No, you're right. I should try and stay positive.
Which reminds me. Rowe opens the little bag on his waist where Bestie has been. Bestie.
Rowe.
We haven't talked in a little while. How are you doing down there,
I've been in the bag. You've been gone for 2 days.
I'm sorry, Bestie. I was pretty exhausted by all of my cool adventures that I did.
You haven't fixed me yet. That's okay. I know you're trying your best. You know, I'm feeling really down lately.
Is it because you're a wooden puppet now?
Ow. Yeah. Ow. Yeah. Actually, it is that.
Well, look up, puppet. No, sorry.
Oh, jeez. Come on, man.
That was a bit coarse, correct. No. Why am I doing bits?
Stop hurting my feelings, man.
I'm really sorry, Bestie. Look, I'm going to get you whatever you need. I'm not just... in the short term, like a varnish or whatever is like whatever you need. But, like, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. But I will change you back. And I'm going to make you a promise. You're not just going to be a little real dragon. You're going to be like a proper real dragon. Like, I'm going to make you huge.
You'll make me big.
I'll make you the biggest dragon in the world.
And I can still fly?
Well, yeah, if you're that big, you'll be able to fly across an ocean. You'll be able to see my house from up there. You'll be able to punch the moon.
Wow, that's a lofty promise, but one I'll look forward to having fulfilled. That sounds great.
I won't let you down. Okay.
No, I'll just go back in the bag for now, but please do work on it, because, it's getting pretty dark in this old dragon's head.
You can come out and sit on Watercracker.
Don't worry about it. Just zip me up now.
Okay, so Rowe zips up there's not a zip. He ties it up. His heart a breaking. And also slightly worried about this big promise he's just made because he has absolutely no idea how to make that real.
Right, well, we're just coming down the path now, and we can see the portal up ahead. It's there. It's the bright, jagged red stones forming a kind of lovely circular kind of portal.
It's lovely, is it?
It's pretty lovely. Well,
Are you in love with it?
It's not
Are you
jagged,
in love with
is
the
what I
portal?
mean. Is in it's smooth and like well formed, unlike all the other rocks. It's just like it's pristine.
I bet you say that to all the portals.
You're a lovely portal. Yes, you are.
You are so well formed. All the other portals in town are just jagged, but you are lovely.
It's lovely and smooth, except for one small kind of crack and divot where there's a stone missing. As you know, it's where the keystone came from.
Okay, so I'm going to... Franny?
Is this it? Looks like pretty portal-y to me.
Okay, I'm glad that you went with that because I was going to lead with sarcasm because this is very obviously a portal, Franny.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
know.
Come
I've
on.
been on my share of adventures. It's not my first portal, you know.
So Rowe,
It is the smoothest portal I've seen, though. Look at that.
It's lovely, isn't it? Wouldn't you
Gives
say
it a
this
little
is
rub.
lovely?
Hops down from Daisy Clopper and ties her to a nearby tree.
So I would like to take advantage of Franny's wisdom.
Yeah.
Franny, you're a man about town. You've ridden up and down the Pretty Flower Coast and beyond to the neighboring regions, which everyone knows are called Burnt Earth Barrow and the beach of Tinkling Ice.
Yes.
The two
Indeed.
regions on either side. Franny, what do you know about this? What are we looking at?
Well, I've only ever been through a portal to the Feywild, which is lovely. Absolute recommend, must go.
5
Beautiful forests, lovely elven women. Very nice. Lots of adventure to be had there. Lots of good times for old little Franny.
In some ways, you'd say gnome complaints.
Yeah, Franny's stoked with that joke.
Okay, cool. I like Franny. He's a good sounding one.
Yeah, he doesn't mind a joke
Okay.
at his expense.
So, but he doesn't have any. Franny,
Never
you
been
don't-
to Shadowfell, though. I'm assuming, it doesn't sound like Feywild. It doesn't have the same ring to the name, does it?
So this is more like a question. Tinkle fairy toes, Flinkle,
Twinkle
sucky
fancy
cock.
feet.
We used to use it to go to the Feywild, but then it's been open to the Shadowfell. How does that work? Does Rowe know? Like what?
Rowe's got no idea. He's
But so
barely
if I
even heard
open
of the
it,
other
it's
realms.
definitely going to go to Shadowfell.
I think Twinkle explained that the portal itself used to go there. Now it doesn't go there. It doesn't go to Feywild anymore. It just goes to Shadowfell, it
Okay.
seems.
Okay, so I take out. Franny, watch this. I take out the ink stained rock, the key, and I'm going to walk up to the portal and I'm going to just plug it in.
Yeah, okay, you pop it in and then immediately kind of energy forms inside. It's like instant.
I've seen the Stargate, all
Yeah,
right?
like the Stargate, except the water doesn't gush out like water. It just is like, it's just on now. It's just
Stargate
immediately
was like
on.
pretty cool graphics at the time.
Oh, it was so good. I loved Stargate.
I did too,
I was
actually.
really into it, and they had that whole Egyptian vibe going on, which I was really digging.
And it was like the cool guy Teal'c, who's just like
and he had
tough.
that thing on his head. And so the portal was just, it's on now. It's like you can see energy in there.
Ding!
Yeah, it's done. Like I'm like, it does like 3 beeps and it's ready to go through.
And what is the surface of it? What am I looking at? What's the
You see through and you can kind of see the same forest. It doesn't, like, it wasn't quite on last time you got it. Like it didn't actually come on. It needed time to charge. Obviously removing the stone, it's obviously charged up.
Okay.
Where you're going, so it's on. So it doesn't look how it did before, but you can still see through, and through it looks kind of like the same forest, but it's distorted. It's like, it's very dark. You can't really see through there. Your dark vision doesn't seem to do anything through the portal. It just looks dark.
Okay, am I taking Watercracker through? That's the big question. Franny, are you taking Daisy Clopper?
Well, what I was going to do was I was going to pop through, because usually you can just come through either way. I was going to pop through, see what it was like, make sure it was okay for the old girl, because she's worth quite a lot.
Yeah.
I was going to just make sure it was okay, and then maybe come through, grab her.
Recon.
That's what I usually do.
Cool. Okay. Watercracker, I'm going away. I may be actually not that much term at all. I'm not going to die.
Have you tied him up?
Yeah. With Daisy Clopper.
I tell you, do you have to tie me up? I mean, if you don't come back, I'm stuck. Why don't you just untie me and I'll wait?
Okay.
Trust me, man. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I trust you. Do I? No. Rowe is not... He's a guy who's going to set a bird free. He wants desperately for Watercracker to be there when he returns. But if Watercracker goes, that is Watercracker's life and his decision to make. You know what I mean? You break things by holding onto them too tightly. That's what Rowe thinks.
Wow.
But
That's
also,
deep.
Watercracker, don't go anywhere, right, man? Because I'm also going to walk back, and I'm like your friend, so...
Yeah, no, we're cool. Have fun.
Okay, so he doesn't tie him up.
All right, so you're gonna step through. What's the plan here, Rowe?
Rowe's been watching too many action puppet shows, and so decides that he's going to do a combat roll through.
All right. Yeah. Roll dexterity.
That's an 11.
Yeah, I mean, sure. You do a combat roll through. Franny sees you and does the exact same, maybe a little more gracefully. Well, actually, no. Let's find out. Yeah, way more gracefully. And you both combat roll through, and the second you do,
What do I feel?
you feel a chill.
Do I feel like a natural woman?
No, you don't. You don't feel, nothing about this feels natural. It's cold and it's dark, and there's like kind of it's like your eyes are adjusting. There's kind of like a fog around, but you see you're still in what's like barely recognizable as the forest you're in. It's kind of like a mirror, but like everything's just fucked up, like, and warped. Like the trees are humongous, like they're 10 times as big. They're huge, and they go up just way higher than you can see, and the portal looks like you saw it in your dream. It's like overgrown.
So can I see Ewok villages?
No Ewok villages yet, but it's like the fog is still there, and it's kind of like your eyes are
yells
adjusting.
yub yub as loudly as he
Yub
can.
yub, and it echoes yub yub. I don't know where he got that reference from. But
Yeah, he doesn't. That was my cheery impression.
that's bad.
I thought that was quite good. Okay, that's pretty bad too, but it's better than mine.
Yeah. So there's a lot of room below a good Wookiee impression in what we've got.
This is now Chewbacca Sounds podcast. Do you like the bit where every time we do a stupid joke, we pretend that we're relaunching the show as happening? Because so far we've been a masonry podcast,
Christianity podcast.
Chewbacca Sounds podcast. A lot of different branching out.
Music facts. I think we
Music
did.
facts. I hope the listeners do know that we are actually launching each of those. Like we have.
Yeah, please Google them all.
We're not just an independent podcast now. We're now a podcast network.
Conglomerate of podcasts. Where was I in my description?
It's cold.
There's
There's
cold.
trees, the big
There's
trees.
huge trees. The portal's overgrown. It's completely dark here. There's no light. You look up and the trees just kind of ascend into nothing. Fog, darkness. You can't see the top. There's vines hanging down, and there's everything just looks
Spooky.
off and decaying, and like it's growing still. Obviously they're growing. They're huge, but they're not. It's like they're growing off of death or darkness or something. They're just like, and they're thriving in this environment. There's vines, and there's like kind of like webbing. It's like looks gooey and sticky. And
Spider-Man.
yeah, maybe there's a Spider-Man thing. There's like tall mushrooms growing in the forest, like as big as trees are back in the real world.
Cool.
Through the fog ahead of you, and it's you're not sure if it's fog or your eyes are just adjusting, but like you can probably see 20 feet ahead of you, but you see kind of a like 6.5 foot creature like walking towards you slowly, and he looks like you. He's got your silhouette, and as he comes,
Okay. I pull out the XXL Big Digger 2.0, and I heft it in one hand. I walk towards the figure, and I say, "My name's Rowe, and you better be friendly or you'll be Doug."
The figure walking towards you also pulls out his weapon, which happens to be a spade, and says, "Rowe?"
Doug?
All right, that was Flip Flop Tippity Tabletop, episode 6, coming at you with lots of story development this time, it
Really?
seems.
Once again, we really took that tabletop and we flipped it over. Job done.
Take everything you know about the world and like mirror it, flip it upside down, make it all dark and make the trees bigger, put mushrooms in there.
I really like the mushrooms. I love the big mushroom trees. It's very evocative.
Yeah, and then like hanging vines and stuff. I imagine this is, by the way, just maybe one of the biomes. I don't think it's all like that. It's not all just trees everywhere.
Well, maybe I'll
but
say that. Maybe next time.
I haven't
Yeah,
got to
I'll
like
like-
say that as DM. No, I'm still DM. This is still my
Don't
episode.
say everything is like this in this entire world.
It's just trees and
It's
mushrooms.
trees and mushrooms. It's just boring. That's why it's so shadowy under these immense mushrooms.
Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.